Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. UConn is 6-2 but has had their share of struggles this season on the offensive side of the ball. But we are currently the 8th ranked team in the country and looking like we have a good shot at making the college football playoffs this year. The story of the season has been the quarterback play. Welliver benched a couple weeks ago and Dorian Tobin playing very well in replacement of him so far. The rushing game has still been very good despite not really having that great to elite back that we've had in previous years, though Shaq McMath has served admirably. And in the receiving game, we've seen a recent breakout of Dalton Shnak taking over the wide receiver 1 role ever since Tobin moved back to quarterback. There's only 4 games left in the season, and 3 of them should be relatively easy. Liberty, not a particularly strong opponent. Colorado, not super strong. Miami, I know, is 4-4, but typically field a very good team. And then BYU, we have beat 2 years in a row now. The expectation has to be to win out. Miami is maybe the only team we should struggle against. Welcome everybody to another UConn home game. This time the Huskies facing off against Liberty, a team that joined the Big 12 along with them, has not quite seen the highs that UConn has, but has been a pretty solid program and still developing. Though this is a team that UConn should absolutely dominate. Let's see if the offense can keep up the good form. Quarterback has been the big question mark for this team all year, and really since Nick Evers graduated. Felt like we had found it with Welliver last season, but playing very poorly this season. Tobin has taken over and played relatively well. And now he's going to step up in the pocket here, take off to run, and tried to slide down, but tackled down at the 39 first down. McBath in the backfield for the next play. On 1st and 10, Tobin going to keep it on a read option. It was the wrong read, a loss of 3. So on 2nd and 13, we'll try again. Tobin back to pass, scrambling, gets this off to Shaq McBath. No gain. It is completed, but doesn't go anywhere. 3rd and 13 from the 36. Back to throw with Tobin underneath to Terry Overhauser, fighting for the yardage, and he's short of it. 4th and 2 for UConn. Will punt it away. The Liberty offense is led out onto the field by junior quarterback Laron Vigil. Halfback 1 is Robert Ayodele. And then they also have Kamari Okuyemi. At wide receiver, they have Leon McNeil, Isaac Kuhn, Jeremy Browning, and Henry Hilbert. And then at tight end, it's Brendan Medley, the real star of this offense. And then Clayton Hill. Not the most potent offense we've ever faced, but definitely not the worst either. Vigil out of the shotgun, Ayodele to his left. He will get the carry, makes a move, runs into Joey Terrell, who brings him down after the short pickup. Another team that likes to run with tempo. Vigil back out of the shotgun once again. Ayodele to his left. Calling an audible and then taking the snap. It's another handoff. Ayodele meets Joey Terrell again. AJ Hepburn also there to help. And now it's a 3rd and 7 as they go back to the hurry up. A tight end in the backfield is a fullback. It's a read option keeper for the quarterback, and he's short of the first. 4th and 1. They will go 3 and out to start their day. 1st and 10 UConn, this time starting from their own 33. With McBath in the backfield, it will be a carry for him, and really nothing there at all, no gain. Tobin will look to throw on 2nd down. He gets this to Dalton Shnak for the first time today. Well defended after the catch. It's a 3rd down. On the 37, a 3rd and 6. Back to passes Tobin again, stepping up once more and scrambling where he slides down at midfield for another first. From the 47, Tobin back to pass, and he's got his man Tevin Madu. He's just short of that first down marker, 3rd and inches coming up. It almost looks like the line of scrimmage is in front of the line to gain. 3rd and inches from the 40. McBath would have been almost impossible not to get it. Fresh set of downs for Tobin and the offense. Tobin scrambling right side, some room to work with, runs past the first down marker and goes out of bounds at the 21. Just a yard away from the red zone. Can McBath get us there? He can, and a lot more. Shaq McBath breaks the tackle and finds his way into the end zone. A 21-yard touchdown carry for the senior halfback, Shaq McBath, powering his way into the end zone there at the end. Looking like Max Cadet out there with the power running. UConn will take the lead off of the 6 from McBath. Back on the defensive side of the ball for UConn. Liberty looking to match the touchdown that the Huskies just saw. Read option, Raheem Lovelace is in the backfield right away. 2nd and long after the TFL, and they go back to the hurry-up. Vigil will hand it off to Ayodele, and he runs into Raheem Lovelace and then D'Angelo Townsend to set up a 3rd down and 10. Looking to get another stop is the UConn defense. Vigil back to pass. Time to throw. Finds his man. Really good block. He's just short of the 1st down marker. They're not going to go for it on 4th and inches, electing to punt and going 3 and out once again. 2nd and 10. Tobin back to pass. He gets this underneath to Terry Overhauser, turns it upfield, and gets 8. Wildcat formation for the Huskies on 3rd and 2. Taking the snap is McBath. He hands off Cadet, and Cadet will get the first before going down past midfield at the 48. Tobin marches back out onto the field. Will look to pass. And it looks like he's going to have Brock Montgomery a lot of room to work with after the catch. Nears the 30, down at the 31. Another 1st down. Moving right along is UConn. Looking to throw again is Tobin. Get this to Marcus Angler, but it's only good for 5. 2nd and 5 from the 26. Play action. Tobin scrambling right side. He's got a man open in the end zone, and it's Dalton Shnak. Touchdown, UConn. Tobin saw him very late, but Shnak had been open for a while. Finally, Tobin gets it to him, and it's a touchdown for the Huskies. A nice throw on the run there from Tobin as well. And once again, a great job by Shnak, always finding his way open. UConn extends their lead. 14-0 here in the 2nd quarter for the UConn Huskies. As Vigil takes the snap, hands off Ayodele. It looked like he had a huge lane, but was closed up quickly by D'Angelo Townsend. Makes it a 2nd down and 5. And it's going to be a fake to Ayodele, and down goes Vigil. Joey Terrell says, see you later. Brings him down in the backfield, the first sack of the day for the junior linebacker. 3rd and 12. For Liberty. Been in 3rd and long situations all day today. Can they convert this one? No, because Vigil goes down. Townsend with the sack this time. Back-to-back sacks for the Huskies defense. And it's another 3 and out for the Liberty Flames. 1st and 10 UConn. A decent return from Terry Overhauser. Sees us already past midfield. Blitz on its way. Tobin as he throws. He had Overhauser open, but did not quite have the time. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Play action. And back to pass is Tobin. And he gets this to Marcus Angler, who has the first up to the 26. Looking like one of those games so far where maybe UConn is just the dominant force, which is exactly what we'd want against this caliber of team. Good carry here for Shaq McBath. Only his 5th rush of the day. 8 minutes left to play in the first half. 2nd and 5 from the 21. And McBath gets the carry and cannot get the first. 3rd and short. 3rd down and 2. Tobin. Read option. Will keep it. Running room to the outside. Chase down before he can find the edge. And it's going to be a 1st and goal at the 6. UConn comes out in the Wildcat once again on 1st and goal from the 6. A snap to McBath. He's got a lead blocker with Max Cadet. Touchdown, Shaq McBath. His 2nd one on the ground on the day. A good lead block from Max Cadet, and the Wildcat from the Huskies is working out pretty well today. It's going to be 21-0 when Liberty takes back over. Starting from the 25 after a knee in the end zone, Liberty needs points here. Handoff Ayodele. It's going to be a decent carry. Byler gets the first contact, but it's Townsend getting the tackle. Feels like he's been everywhere today. That is one of the best pickups on the day for the Flames. Can they pick up their first down of the day here on 2nd down and 1? Vigil brings a man over in motion, hands off Ayodele, and he will get the first down of the day for Liberty. 6 minutes left to play in the half. 1st and 10 from the 37. And it's going to be a keeper for Vigil, but it's Giuliano in the backfield. That's a TFL. 2nd and 11. Gotta imagine they start going to the air a little bit more maybe, but they appear to be a run-first offense. Read option again. Vigil meeting Byler does not slide. Brings up a 3rd and 2. They love the read option. I believe last year it kind of cooked us. This time, no read option. It's a speed option, but Raheem Lovelace, the smartest man on the field, he played them both, and he played them both perfectly. If the quarterback keeps it, that's a TFL, and you just saw when the running back got it, that's a TFL. Raheem Lovelace, you're a monster. 5 minutes left in the first half. This is one all UConn so far. Out of the pistol, Tobin hands off McBath. And a good chase down tackle there, only allows 2 yards. 2nd and 8 from the 36. Tobin to pass. He's got Dalton Shnak, room to run. Gets a block downfield, cuts it back to the inside, and gets near the 30. 3rd catch of the day for Dalton Shnak, up to 63 yards. It's been no problem moving the football aside from that first drive for UConn. The 31, a 1st and 10. McBath gets the carry. I will say the run game outside of the 1 touchdown run for McBath has not been elite by any means. So a 3rd down and 8. It's Tobin back to pass, running out of time. Down he goes. Good coverage everywhere down the field. 4th and 12. It's going to be a long field goal attempt for Zach Costanzo. Kick is on its way, veering to the right. Wow, that barely had the leg from Costanzo, but the 50-yarder is good. And UConn extends their lead even a bit further. Liberty takes back over. It's post 2-minute timeout. It's a 2nd and 8. Picked up a couple yards on a run play. Empty set for Vigil. And is looking to throw. This one is completed. Sets up a 3rd and 2. Gotta imagine they're going to be throwing a bunch on this sort of 2-minute drill here. Vigil time and throwing incomplete, forced out by George Kiki. And that's a 4th and 2. They'll punt once again. An incredible showing once again from this UConn defense. Now the Huskies offense back on the field. Looking dominant so far today. A wide open man. It's Brock Montgomery, and he'll get the first, nearing midfield. 1st down and 10. Tobin back to pass and intercepted. He tried to rifle one in there for Dalton Shnak. The linebacker read it and picks him off. Well played by the Liberty linebacker. Tobin's first pick on the season. You knew it had to come eventually. Sucks that it came at that time, right before the half. Liberty will take over, a chance for some points. 1st and 10 at the UConn 46. Liberty throw deep down the field from Vigil, wide open. A mistaken coverage from George Kiki. Touchdown Flames. That's Isaac Kuhn with the reception and with the touchdown, hitting the Heisman pose. Down 24-6 is absurd. I don't know what George Kiki was doing. It was simple cover 3. That is definitely Kiki's responsibility, but we know what he's known for. He gets burned once a game. Yeah, it looks like just a miscommunication between Hepburn and Kiki. They both thought the other one was getting the deep 3rd, and so neither of them got the deep 3rd. So suddenly this game gets a lot more interesting after the Flames are able to capitalize on the turnover. Say goodnight, though. Dalton Shnak, one-on-one coverage. Why would you leave him open? You can't press Dalton Shnak. Touchdown UConn. Saw it the whole way. Single high safety press coverage on Dalton Shnak. He's got some of the best release in the country, and he's gone off to the races. 6 points in about 6 seconds for the UConn Huskies, answering back immediately. The only downside of that is that it burned absolutely no clock. So a minute in all your timeouts, that's a lot of time for the Flames. We did it again! Beat deep down the field. Nobody knows how to cover a deep 3rd, and up to the 16 is Liberty. It's just cover 3, guys. What are we doing? Vigil surpasses 2,000 yards with that. Well, it used to be that cover 4 was the coverage that was bugged. Seems like now they've broken cover 3. This is a running back screen. Good block for Ayodele. And he goes down near the 10. A timeout there for Liberty. 2nd and 3 from the 8. Empty set for Vigil. Back to pass. And throwing quickly. Incomplete. That's forced out by Alfonso Ruiz. 3rd and 3. We could hold them to the field goal attempt here. Vigil to throw. Dropped by the tight end Medley. That is easily the best player on this team with a terrible, terrible drop. On 4th and 3, though, they are going to go for it. They're not going to settle for the field goal attempt. So from the 8, Vigil will hand it off. Ayodele, he's tackled forward. Did he get it? He did. 1st down called for Liberty, and they burn a second timeout, 36 seconds left to play in the first half. Vigil back to pass. Blitz on its way. He's running out of time. Hit as he throws. Ooh, a scary one as Byler was in the area. Falls harmlessly to the turf, though. Now 2nd and goal from the 5 for number 5. Vigil stepping up in the pocket, going to scramble, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Liberty. Back-to-back drives where the Huskies defense gives up points quickly, and in both cases, it's due to some miscommunications on defense. 2 different cover 3 plays where one of the deep thirds forgets that they're one of the deep thirds. So to halftime we go, 31-14. A bit more interesting of a game than I feel like it really is. The defense has been totally dominant outside of 2 plays. 2 plays where we forgot how to play cover 3. If it weren't for those, I think it would be 31-0. Liberty does start with the football here in the second half. A real opportunity to make this a much closer football game. Ayodele with the carry up to 32 yards on the day. They could get within 10 points with a touchdown on this drive. Vigil will hand off again. Ayodele, good blocking downfield in the running game working so far today. So far this half, I should say. Only a couple plays to this point. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Ayodele still in the backfield, and Vigil will hand off to him. Another big lane for Ayodele. Suddenly, the run blocking is right there, and it's been perfect thus far in the 3rd quarter. Will they continue to go to the ground? I don't see why they wouldn't with how elite the blocking has been. On the 43. No, it's a fake, and down goes Vigil as soon as they try a pass. It's a sack, and it's D'Angelo Townsend, who's having himself a career day so far today. 2nd and 16. Vigil will look to pass. Just takes the drag route to Medley, who does not drop it this time. Makes it a more manageable 3rd and 7. Ayodele not in the backfield now, and that's not even the backup halfback. Okuyemi, I'm not certain who that is. Vigil stepping up, gonna take off to run. He's not gonna get the first, though. Tackled down by Hepburn and Kiki. And they're gonna attempt a very long field goal here. Actually, not as long as I thought. Only about 51 yards. For some reason, I thought they were about 10 yards further back. 51-yarder on its way. Does that have the leg? It does. And it's good for Liberty. So they add 3. It's gonna be 31-17. 1st and 10 from the 20. For UConn, and Tobin scrambling here. Has a little bit of room to run, makes something out of nothing, and gets a first. A near immediate blitz that time from Liberty. Tobin back to pass again. No blitz this time. Finds his man over the middle. It's Dalton Shnak. And Dalton up near the 50. In fact, they mark him down at the 50. 2nd and 10 from the 49. This time, it's a handoff to McBath. Only a couple. 3rd and 8 from the 48. Tobin back to pass. He's got Overhauser, diving catch, and he makes the play. Up to the 26 for Terry Overhauser. Now 1st and 10. Play action. Tobin rolling, firing towards the end zone. Intercepted. It was overthrown for Brock Montgomery. And Liberty will take over on the 2nd interception of the day from Dorian Tobin. Missed out on Montgomery, who honestly did not have the speed to outrun that coverage like we maybe thought he did. And the free safety Elijah Ware makes the play. So some mistakes from Tobin has this game pretty close as Raheem Lovelace makes a really good tackle. 2nd and 7 for the Flames. Could capitalize on the mistake, make this game even a little bit closer. 5.5 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Vigil stepping up, going to take off to scramble, and he slides down in front of Raheem Lovelace. He's about to take a huge hit there. Vigil loves to scramble despite not exactly being the fastest quarterback ever. Ayodele on the carry, Joey Terrell with the TFL. 2nd and long for Vigil. And it's a fake handoff read option. A.J. Hepburn got there pretty quickly, only allows 4 yards. And it's a 3rd and 7 for the Flames. Ayodele in the backfield, but Vigil will look to throw, scrambling near, immediately hit as he throws by Joey Terrell. A big hit laid, falls incomplete, and they'll punt it away. The defense bailing out the Dorian Tobin mistake. 1st and 10, UConn. 2 interception day for the first time for Dorian Tobin, at least the first time this season. The running game has not been great today. McBath not averaging many yards per attempt. This time, though, a decent carry sets up a 3rd and 3. So 3rd and 3 from the 37. McBath on the carry, and he will get the first down. 1st and 10 empty set for Tobin. McBath coming over, and it's the jet touch pass for him. Good blocking, and gets 8. 2nd down for Tobin. A little bit of a blitz on its way. Gets this off to Dalton Shnak. He's actually going to be short of the first because he did not fall down and actually lost his forward progress. 3rd and short has been pretty much no problem, though, for UConn this season, and McBath proves why, getting the first there. From the 16 of 1st and 10, Tobin to throw, lobs one up for Dalton Shnak, who is in press coverage again. See you later. Dalton Shnak, his 3rd tutty on the day. He is having an incredible season ever since Tobin switched back to quarterback. Their connection has been incredible. Dalton Shnak, the wide receiver one here in Connecticut, getting his 3rd TD on the day. Liberty back on the field offensively. Once again, have not been able to get much going other than the 2 deep shots off of the blown coverages. Nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, 38-17 is your score. Vigil out of the shotgun, calling it audible. He does have Medley back there with him as well. RPO intercepted. It's Jamie Santos. Outruns the lineman. It's a pick 6 for the junior corner. 29 yards, 6 points, and he puts them to bed. Jamie Santos, a pick 6. A terrible decision to throw there from LaRon Vigil. Not sure what he was thinking, what he saw. It was an RPO. Decided to pass it, but Santos was all over it in coverage. We fast forward to the end of the game. I think you guys got the point. UConn just the better team today. Got another touchdown. 52-24 is your final. UConn looking dominant against a lesser opponent. Exactly what you'd expect, and what a day for Dalton Shnak. I'd like to highlight the difference in total offensive yards for both teams. Just a great performance from the offense today, and a good performance from the defense outside of a couple blown coverages, nearly doubling the yardage total. We look at player stats, really good day for Tobin. Elite day even, other than the 2 interceptions. 21-27, 400 yards basically, 77% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns and the 2 picks. A gunslinger if ever there was one. Jack McBath had 22 attempts but only averaged 3.7 per carry. In the receiving game, it was all Dalton. 8 for 214 and 3 touchdowns. Angler appears to be the one that got the garbage time tutty, 4 for 81 and a touchdown for him. Overhauser getting 3 catches today, which is up from his average. And defensively, Raheem Lovelace leads the team in solo tackles and in total tackles with 9. Lovelace, Townsend, and Terrell all with 2 TFLs apiece. And then Townsend with a couple sacks on the day, Daly with 1, and Terrell with 1. And then, of course, Jamie Santos, the pick 6. UConn now 7-2 on the season after the kind of demolition there of the Liberty Flames. Let's go ahead and advance to week number 10. D'Angelo Townsend is your Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week from that performance. Much deserved, and I can only imagine that Dalton Shnak is the Offensive Player of the Week, and he is. 8 receptions, 214 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Dalton Shnak. He did not win National Offensive Player of the Week, though, which is actually a little surprising. We are on a bye week this week, and we're going to lose Lawrence Caraway. Really nothing we can do about it. He's going to commit to Penn State. Penn State's stolen a few players from us. They actually nearly stole Max Cadet from us a few years ago, if you remember correctly. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop this at this point. He apparently had a very good visit. He's just going to commit this week. There's really no point in keeping him on the board. We could go look for a different guard, potentially. Sucks to lose out on him, but we got all of our best guys already. I'm not super upset about it, and that does leave us with 180 points. But again, I'm not trying to get too many players, because that just leads to us having to cut a ton of players. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I'll probably do a little bit of scouting to see if I can find anyone, and I'll schedule some visits for anyone we can. So here's what the board is looking like after the bye week. Anthony Giordano has been scheduled for a visit. He's currently my top priority to get in. We are close to getting a commitment from the athlete Sam Halapio, who presents as a quarterback, but hoping he can maybe play receiver, maybe even tight end at 6'4". We actually haven't scouted him yet. And then a couple new guys to the board. There's tight end Rashad Tryon. He was a 4-star that wasn't getting any offers. He's not a gem by any means, but he is a possession tight end. We did just get a blocking tight end, 5-star gem Larry Vitale, but I don't think it would hurt to get another tight end. We're super weak at the tight end position. We don't have really anyone who looks to be improving super well. And then I've added center Casey Nestrowitz. I scouted him and another center. There really aren't any 4 stars remaining at all. I just like Casey because he had more mental and regular abilities. I like the pocket shield. I don't love having a pass protector as a center, but we can just move linemen around, I think. And then we've also scheduled a visit for 3-star gem right guard Gordon Hagens. Both him and Giordano will be visiting during the BYU game, which is the final game of the season. I'm glad I scheduled a visit with Giordano because it does look like Washington is making a huge push, along with Liberty, a team that we just crushed. Looks like Alabama now in the mix on Matthew Deese as well, so we're going to schedule the visit for him also. Sam Halapio should realistically commit to UConn after this game against Colorado, but he is visiting Pitt this week. If by some miracle Pitt makes up all of that ground with that visit, they could steal him this week. It would be shocking, but not impossible. I feel like we've seen it before. Similar thing is happening with Lawrence Rogan, where A&M is now making a push for him. He's going to be visiting us against BYU as well. We now have 4 visits for that BYU game. We're kind of to that point in the recruiting cycle where these top teams have gotten all of their top players like us, and they are now going after guys like Rashad Tryon, which is why you see Tennessee and Georgia now in the mix. Also, we can officially see the college football playoff top 25 rankings. We are still 8th. Georgia, for some reason, passes us, despite us not losing, I guess because it's a win over a ranked opponent in Florida. Currently, Notre Dame, the #1 team after the huge victory over Nevada. If the playoffs were to start today, here is what it would look like. We would be the 10 seed. This is very similar to last season. We were actually the 7 seed instead of the 10 seed. And it looks like Baylor currently projected to get the 1 seed. It's likely at this point going to be us versus Baylor in the Big 12 championship game. And speaking of the Big 12, I do want to mention that I am considering changing the conference up next season. I think that the competition's not quite good enough at the moment. I think that I moved Syracuse a little too hastily, and probably Liberty and UAB, who are both struggling big time now in the Big 12. So I think that we probably change that back, just kind of take a mulligan there, probably move Syracuse back to the ACC, which is actually for the best because it means that I can schedule them every season for certain. And that Syracuse rivalry has become a pretty big deal here. The games are always super fun against them. I think that's what I want to do. I think we're going to move Syracuse back to the ACC or somewhere else, and that will thin up the Big 12 a little bit. I think I'm going to move Liberty and UAB back out because they've just been underperforming since moving them. We moved them probably a little bit too quickly. And then I might move some other teams as well. One of the teams I was considering was moving BYU maybe out to the Pac-12, just because they have struggled year after year in the Big 12, but they seem to be having a pretty good season this season at the very least. 5-4 is pretty good for them. I definitely don't think BYU themselves would want to leave, but I think that this would be kind of the Big 12 saying like, we need better competition at this rate for our top dogs like Baylor, like Oklahoma State, like Texas Tech, like UConn, and that BYU just isn't cutting it. UAB, Liberty, they're not cutting it, and just kind of, you know, cutting those teams off and sending them back to where they came from pretty much. I know BYU was never in the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 was super stingy back when it used to be good, but I think that this newly formed Pac-12 would absolutely take a team like BYU. I would say they could take Utah with them, but I do think that Utah as a brand carries enough recognition that the Big 12, despite kind of their struggles these past couple seasons, would be willing to keep them in this situation. And I think Utah absolutely would obviously want to stay in the Big 12. And then as for the Pac-12, what team would leave to make that room? Utah State. They're 0-9, 0-6 in the conference. It's not a particularly strong conference. Like, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. I think Utah State probably relegates back to the Mountain West. BYU takes over that spot in the Pac-12 because this Mountain West sucks. This might be the worst group of 5 conference in the country at this point after the changes with the Pac-12. I mean, the best team on paper is San Jose State. Let me know what you think, though. What changes would you want to see to the conferences? I just want to thin out the Big 12 a little bit, maybe play some of the other opponents a little bit more frequently. Like, we haven't faced Texas Tech once in these 3 seasons. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. I apologize for it being a little bit short. I did just wrap up my finals this week, so uploads will be coming a lot more regularly, but I want to make sure I get this video out to you guys so that you have something to enjoy. I'm also working on a college football 26 wish list video. If you guys have anything you'd want to add to that, let me know. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to the channel members. If you want to become a channel member, you can do so for as low as $1 per month. You can just hit that join button down below, and it does help me out tremendously. But if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot, and I will see you guys in the next episode where we face off against 3 and 6 Colorado in Boulder.